Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another DIY video. This is going to be just one DIY, but it is a reversible DIY, so it's kind of a 2-for-1. And I'm doing mine for fall and Christmas, but you could do it for whatever you wanted. So let's get started. I have these signs from the Dollar Tree. I picked them up a while ago because I wanted to do, well, this project. And I'm finally getting around to it. And I've got some scrap paper from my stash and these wood words. I picked mine up from Hobby Lobby, but I do know that a lot of Dollar Trees have been carrying them. And then some little wood stickers, which mine were from Target Dollar Spot last year, but Dollar Tree usually has something like that. So use what you can find. You might even be able to use the metal words from Dollar Tree. I don't know if they would fit in this particular sign. So moving on to the sign. I love these types of signs from Dollar Tree. Always look for this style when you're going to DIY. They've got the tabs in the back and you just open it up and you can pop the sign out very easily. It makes DIYing super simple. I'm using my little scraper, well actually I guess this is I think a putty knife, but scraper tool to try to get my word off. I tried to get it in one piece, but it didn't quite happen, but that's alright. I wasn't planning on using it for this project anyway. And then I'm going to try to peel off the paper. It has like this plasticky film on top of it, so I'm going to do my best to get off what I can, and then I'm just going to use a piece of sandpaper to smooth out what I can't. Now I am going to be scrap papering mine, so you don't really have to get it super perfect here because you're not going to be able to tell. If you are painting it, obviously you're going to want an even smoother surface. You could also scrapbook paper this side and paint the other side if you wanted. I ended up scrap papering both sides, but just wanted to kind of give that heads up. So you don't necessarily have to peel it off as much as I am, but it's kind of satisfying to try to get it off. Now I am just going to glue these onto my scrap paper of choice. I'm using a Gorilla glue stick, but you could use just a regular glue stick if you want, or a Mod Podge, and we're just going to glue them on, line them up. My head gets in the way here because I'm going to try my best to line up at least a couple of the edges so I have less to trim. And I'm going to wipe off any excess glue so I don't get my cutting knife all sticky. And I'm going to use this little cutting tool and my cutting mat, both from Dollar Tree. Got to protect your table. Don't forget to do that. And we're just going to cut them out. You could also trace and cut them out with scissors and just glue them on, however you want to do it. And then I will sandpaper off any extra edges that are hanging off, but maybe you won't have to do that and you can totally skip this step. That's going to be depending on how you do this. And then we're going to flip them over and do the reverse side with some paper that I chose for Christmas. Use any paper or paint that you like. So for my wording, I am going to be using the wooden words for fall, and then I'm using this sign that I picked up from Dollar Tree last year. They do also have them out for fall, and I'm going to just cut off what I'm wanting to use, and I'm just using a straight edge and a knife and a cutting mat to protect my table, and I'm just going to score it over and over again, and then until I can bend it and break it off, and then we will use some sandpaper to smooth out any edges. This worked out really good. I was glad because that's kind of what I had in mind when I bought this sign last year. I just never got around to using it in a project. So I'm going to do that for all 3 words, but we're going to skip ahead so I don't bore you. And then we are going to take them and glue them on. I'm using some wood glue. You could use some hot glue. Just keep in mind that the wood glue takes a little bit longer to set up than the hot glue, but I didn't feel like pulling out my hot glue gun and glue sticks on this day, so I went with some wood glue. And then we're going to flip them over. We're going to do the same thing for the wood letters. And then I'm only using some wooden leaves on one of the signs. I didn't really like how the pumpkins looked and I didn't have a bunch of leaves left, but use whatever embellishments you want. And yeah, totally, obviously, make it your own. And if you like this video, if you enjoy budget-friendly DIYs that are easy to do, then hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Hit that like button. That helps me out so much. And subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. Now I wanted to make this look a little less polished, not that it's like super polished, but I'm going in with some black paint and I'm dry brushing it across the paper as well as the sign itself. Not a ton, just a little bit.
And I'm going to do that on the Christmas side, and then I'm going to do the same thing with antique wax on the wood letters from the fall side. I don't do the paper so much on this one. I'm just kind of doing the letters. I'm focusing on the edges of the letters to try to help them stand out. Some of the paint gets across like the whole thing, but that's totally fine. But I'm just kind of focusing on the edges to help them pop out just a little bit more. And then once that is all done, you are going to pop these, I think you feel like I keep saying the word pop. Put these back into the frames, put the tabs down around them to secure it. And I'm going to leave the sawtooth hanger on the back. You could take it off if you want, but you're not going to see it because my intention is to actually take them out and flip the sign around, not just flip the frame around for the different seasons because of the black tabs holding them in. So that's what I'm doing. And I know that it's a little bit dark where I am displaying them, but I'm going to get up close for you so that you can see it a little bit better. I might even decorate with some little Dollar Tree lights behind them to help them stand out, but I love how these came out and they fit perfectly for this spot on this piece in my living room. So I'm thrilled with how they came out.
All right, well, that's going to do it for today's video. Once again, if you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave and subscribe if you have not yet done so already. Make sure your notification bell is turned on, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.